Welcome to Engine Adventures. Today we've got a 2016 Jeep Cherokee Trailhawk. Yes, this is a 2016. I'm testing a friend's vehicle. There you go. Passes the fog light test. Fog lights are on, headlights are not. Anyway, testing a friend's vehicle because this thing was so highly requested, as it is the Cherokee Trailhawk. And it has all the off-road goodies, low range, rear differential lock, and then the off-road cruise control. I can't remember what Jeep calls it. I'll put that up on the screen. And downhill assist, and then the 5 different drive modes. So let's get into it. All right, inside here, this Jeep Cherokee Trailhawk has 5 different drive modes: auto, snow, sport, sand and mud, and rock. And you just turn this dial right here to adjust it. You can see it move through there. It also has a rear differential lock. Won't let you do it unless you're in 4 low. To get to 4 low, you got to go to neutral and then hit 4 low. And it switched it back to auto mode here, but again, in 4 low, you can go through each of the different modes. And then you can also lock the rear now. That light will flash. It'll lock if it actually locks. And then let's roll forward a little bit so that will lock, I guess. There you go. So then here you have the hill descent, and then right there is basically your off-road cruise control. All right, so this is that off-road cruise control. To adjust the speed, push the shifter over, and then you have the down is to increase the speed. So 1, now it says 2 there. So the top speed, sorry for all the shakiness there, top speed is 9 miles an hour. And it's doing a great job. So I think you do have to be in 4 low for all of that. Of course, with the rear locked and everything, it's not gonna have any issues climbing this. But of course, I don't have to use any throttle, it just goes. So we're just gonna be in 4 high. I'm gonna drive this hopefully right at 20 miles an hour. And this thing, one thing I'm noticing is vehicles with less wheel travel struggle more. So I'm about 16, 18 miles an hour now. I can't quite keep 20 on this. And I would definitely say that's because of the limited wheel travel. It's very capable, it's fun to drive, but just has such limited wheel travel that these bumpy roads are a little bit much for it. And it's definitely not as harsh. So even though it's really like not smoothing out the bumps as well as some of the other vehicles, it's doing better than the RAV4 with the really harsh bumps. Maybe even, yeah, probably a little bit better than the Subaru Outback. No banging and clanging like the Ram Rebel with the air suspension. So even though these are big bumps, the suspension's just taking this all in stride. Oh, there we go, first hit. So it does actually pretty well, does better than a lot of the competitors, probably most of the competitors, but not as good as like a TRD Pro Tundra or Tacoma or a Land Cruiser or obviously a Raptor. So anyway, let's get to this articulation test.
The Cherokee Trailhawk has a full-time 4-wheel drive system, so all of these first ones I'm in 4-wheel drive high. And you can see it struggles a little bit with the torque, but it does so well at braking the spinning wheels, it just completely stops them. There's so much control there when compared to basically all of the other competitors. I was quite surprised to see that in snow mode, it basically stops the wheels from spinning at all. So the reduced throttle sensitivity, and I mean, I had my foot on the floor here, full throttle, still it wasn't able to fully make this climb, and the snow mode is just reducing the throttle and applying the brakes so much that it's in four-wheel drive high, it can't do this. In sport mode, you can see that it allows for a little bit more wheel spin. It actually shows that the traction control has been reduced, and then it still stops the spinning wheel entirely. It's able to make it up this much easier than snow mode, and about the same, maybe a little easier than normal mode. In sand and mud mode, you can see more wheel spin again, and just like in sport mode, it shows reduced traction control, and it's able to make the climb pretty easily. In four-wheel drive high, it doesn't let you use rock mode, so we're just going to move on to four-wheel drive low, and here we start with the auto. It's clear how much more torque there is. I'm never going full throttle through any of this. It's a lot more controlled and just easy to do. Again, in snow mode, it reduces the throttle sensitivity a little bit, and it's really quick to break the spinning wheels. Like I said, with the other one in four-wheel drive low, it's just so much easier to make these climbs. In mud and sand mode, it lets the wheels spin a little bit more than in the other modes. It still breaks the spinning wheels, and you can see there, completely stops them, and able to make the climb, no problem. Rock mode should provide for the most control of any of the modes, obviously, and it does a really good job. It seemed like there's less wheel spin here than in some of the other modes, and again, I'm creeping, trying to go as slow as I can. No problem making this climb. And here we are in the most capable mode, four-wheel drive low with the rear differential lock. I recommend using this for probably any condition except for maybe snow and occasionally mud and sand. You may want to have that open, but as you can see, super easy to climb this. All the wheels spin evenly, doesn't even hardly kick up any dust. As with other vehicles in four-wheel drive high, this hill is just a little bit too much. I'm going full throttle. It just can't quite make it in four-wheel drive high. I tried a few times, wasn't able to. Tried all the different modes, still wasn't able to. Eventually just switched it over to four-wheel drive low, and we'll see what happens next. Just like with all the other vehicles I test, I go as slow as I possibly can, which sometimes isn't the best for the traction control system. So, I mean, I don't necessarily just go full throttle or just keep it in that range, the sweet spot, usually around 2,000 RPM, where the vehicle likes to be for the traction control. But, I mean, this thing, just like we saw in the articulation hill, it climbs this no problem. If you didn't already notice from the articulation hill, you'll notice here that the Cherokees have very little articulation, but still able to make this climb basically with two wheels in the air. I was pretty much able to just crawl up this hill, like I said, just going as slow as I possibly can with that rear diff lock, no problem.
So it doesn't have enough torque to make it in four-wheel drive high. You can see these tires are kind of bald. These are the original tires, and it's got like 90,000 miles on it. So there's not a lot of traction to them, but like I said, still not enough torque in four-wheel drive high. And let's go ahead and get the summit shot so you can get the breakover angle. We'll get a shot from underneath and call it a day.
As you can see here, everything is tucked up nicely. There are skid plates all the way along it. It looks like there's one exhaust piece there. I don't know if that was the muffler or the resonator or something, maybe a cat that hangs down. Other than that, it's really good.
All right, thanks for watching Engine Adventures, a review of this 2016 Cherokee Trailhawk. It has the 3.2 liter V6. I don't think that 2 liter turbo came out till later, so this one is that 3 liter V6, and it's pretty capable, but you got to be in 4-wheel drive low. It just doesn't have enough torque in 4-wheel drive high to make that climb. Overall, it's not bad. Even with something like 90,000 miles, it's controlled. You know, you hit those big bumps, you don't feel out of control. I mean, the suspension doesn't smooth them out as much as other suspensions with more travel, but let me pull my mask down. I'm not in the car. That'll be a little better. Anyway, the suspension doesn't eat the bumps up as easily as suspensions with more travel, but even when it's getting near the end of its travel limits, it doesn't lose control. It doesn't have hard bounces and thuds. It remains controlled, and pretty impressive off-road for something this size. Everyone touts, oh, my Subaru can do anything, but this will definitely beat any Subaru as far as climbing with wheels off the ground. It does have the rear differential lock, which makes a big difference. And anyway, thanks for your support. Thanks for watching. If you have more vehicles you want to see, let me know. I'll see what I can find. This one was requested from many of you commenters, so be sure to comment down below with what you'd like to see. Let me know what you didn't like about the video. If you give me a thumbs down, be sure to comment and let me know why. But otherwise, give me a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and we'll see you next time.